example, you've got dry sound right now. Now we're not hearing anything coming out of the left and right speakers because we haven't got anything selected here on the board. So no sound is going to come out of those left and right speakers unless we select something. Okay? So for example here, if I want to hear just dry sound come out of those cabinets, I add dry. Now I hear dry sound along with, now I hear 3 dry cabinets running right now. Okay? If I turn the dry off, now I'm just back to the middle cabinet here. Now remember, you're obviously going to be getting an increase in volume when you kick on 2 more dry cabinets as opposed to 1 single 412 here. You know what I mean? So in other words, a nice combination then you might consider to kind of even out that kind of thing, add another dry cabinet. Or have a couple of 212s for the stereo effects, depending upon how big the stage is, what your accommodations are. You understand? Because in other words, right now, I'm hearing 1 412 cabinet. As soon as I turn on dry into these effects, I'm turning on 2 more cabinets. That's twice as many as the dry. Now obviously you have the ability too here to adjust how much level comes out of those left and right sides as well, as determined by this level control right here, mix 2. This is your effect volume. In other words, whether it's dry, whatever comes out of the VHT power amp, controlled by this knob right here. Okay? If it's all the way down, if it's straight up and down, it's unity gain. Okay? What goes in comes out. If I turn it up, it adds 6 dB of gain all the way up. If I have it in the middle, remember it's unity, or I can have anything in between. I can turn that off completely there. Remember, that's assuming there's something selected on the board to have something come out of the VHT. It could be effects or dry sound. So, like I said, when I hear dry cabinets, I hear 1 dry cabinet now, and there I hear 2 more dry cabinets pushed by the VHT. Now, I turn that off, I get no sound. If I add an effect, for example, the TC chorus, now I'm hearing chorus 100% wet coming out left and right in stereo with the dry cabinet in the middle. Now when I turn that chorus back up, remember we're back to the dry sound. Add another effect, 2290. Now, here's another a little kicker here in this whole scheme of things. It's only going to be 100% wet when you select these effects, assuming the effect is programmed to be 100% wet. If the effect is programmed to have a 50-50 mix or any combination of a mix of dry and wet, then when that effect is selected, dry and wet sound are going to come out of that left and right cabinets. So typically you would probably tend to keep these effects pretty close to 100 or always 100% wet. Because that way you can always add in the dry sound if you want to with a click of a switch. So, for example here, if I look at this 2290 here, which is the effect that I've got engaged right now, if I turn this and look here at the direct, see the direct is coming through as well. So you're going to hear dry and direct coming out of those left and right cabinets as well. Now you can go in here and you can eliminate the direct sound. Now you're hearing only effect come out of the wet side. Okay? So again, it depends upon how the effects are programmed, whether or not you're going to hear dry or affected sound coming out of the effect cabinets when an effect is engaged. On the TC Chorus now, it has got a switch on the back of it called direct mute, where you can mute the dry sound, which is engaged in the back of the unit. So that's always going to come up 100% wet. And the way these are programmed, most of these guys, when they come from the factory, they come pretty much 100% wet as well. So one thing you can do here on the 2290 is you can use something called Spec 17. And if you enter Spec 17 as a 1, you can eliminate the dry sound in all the presets. So I'll show you here, for example. If I go in here, this is one of the things I'll show you in the 2290, because it's a sort of a setup thing. If I go to special number, Spec 17, enter, you see it's a 0. If I make it a 1, enter, and then I come over here and set direct to 0, enter. Now whenever I select a preset, the direct comes up 0. So it's always going to be 100% wet.